those who didn't vote for you. That's the first part. The second part is it's good democracy, that we are able to accept leaders from a different political divide into our areas, and that is an exciting thing for this nation. Lastly, of course, this is an election of 50 plus 1. 50
Every
plus
vote
1.
counts.
Every vote counts. If you go to a constituency and you get one vote, and that's the one vote that gets you above 50 plus 1, definitely it's worth it.
You have to go for it.
Yeah, you have to go for it.
Even if it means you have to use all these kind of resources.
Correct.
Now, Widi, once again, let me just come back to you because this is very interesting. You already mentioned that these visits might not necessarily mean a lot.
They may not necessarily be belonging to the people of the area where you have gone. Take, for example, when a Jubilee wants to attack maybe the judiciary and IEBC, they can't do that from Kisumu. They can't do it from NASA stronghold. They have to go to a friendly ground because they are going to be quarreling. They are going to be throwing vitriol to the public. So they have to look. There are some messages that need certain places. Probably they are going to Tala because they want to go and chid Kalonzo Musyoka to come and join them so that he can be Ruto's running in 2022. It depends on the message you want to send across.
It seems Jubilee are overconfident because if you're talking about 2022 and we're just 8 days away from the election, that says something about Jubilee's confidence.
Actually, you know, if the polls are to be believed, in an election at this late stage, where you've got an incumbent versus an opposition leader, and they're neck to neck, okay, you've got to give the advantage to the incumbent. So in this particular election, at where we stand, based on the polls, Jubilee, you've got to give them an edge, because it's always harder to remove an incumbent if you're neck to neck. Okay? So yes, they have a degree of confidence. But that does not mean they've slacked down, because when I look at their campaign schedule, in fact, I think Red Bull has a direct line to State House because of the amount of energy the president has to expand in the campaign rallies that he's doing. So I don't think Jubilee has relaxed in its campaign, but I think personally that they do have an advantage going into this, because NASA has not gone far beyond really what you'd expect an opposition party which has hope for winning. I think Jubilee definitely is seeming to be leading in this one.
Speaking about strongholds, you know, and these political parties, there's one individual who has come out openly in support of the NASA brigade, and that is the COTU chairman, Francis Atwoli. Let's listen into what he had to say.
So, na ukitaka kujua kura ya Mbaluya tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8 inaitwa 8-8, itaenda kwa debe moja. Na msiogope, mkianguka kura mkiwa pamoja, mna heshima. Sio lazima upige kura ushinde, na sio lazima nyinyi nyote muwe ndani ya serikali. Umoja wenu unashinda hata kupiga kura na ushinde.
Well, that is COTU's boss, Francis Atwoli, throwing his weight behind the opposition NASA with just 8 days to the general election. That is a plus for the opposition.
It is a plus, but you know, Atwoli, even from the days of Moi, he never used to sit squarely on one side properly. He dilly-dallies on top of the fence, one time this side, one time this side. But I think this time now he has decided to take a decisive action and talk about what he feels should happen. But you also remember he's the one who was uniting the luhyas. And remember, he united the luhyas behind a NASA principle. That was enough to tell you that he was warming up to NASA and is in NASA to stay. So I think this is just now getting the guts to come and say what people have always believed he was. He's always been NASA.
Okay, Awidi, in a way, is trying to say Atwoli is some sort of a political dinosaur here.
The interesting narrative of political, rather labor unions in this country and how they vote is a narrative that is going to be very interesting to watch in this particular election. Number one, you've got the nurses strike, doctors strike, we've had the lecturers strike, we've had the teachers threaten to strike. So you've had all this manner of strikes. Now the question is, will it affect this election. And therefore, it will have a weight on Atwoli as a labor unionist. Does he have weight in this country? That's the question. The second part, the luhya vote. Very interesting that you find...
He comes from the region.
Yes, he comes from the region. And whereas we may say we've unified the luhya vote, but the question is that the biggest number of undecideds are from the luhya, from Western Kenya, from that particular province. So the question, again, that you have to face is Atwoli really bringing enough value to NASA, in as much as he's been there for a very long time? Is he going to translate this into votes? That's the question. And personally, this late in the game, I don't think it's as exciting as maybe it would have been a few months ago.
Will you react to that shortly? But let me just take this from the IEBC. They've had a press release here indicating that they're saying that the Commission wishes to notify the public that one of its ICT managers was last seen on Friday night. And the last communication from him is an SMS text sent to one of his colleagues at around 3 a.m. on Saturday morning. The content of the SMS, they say, suggests that he was conscious and fully aware of his itinerary of that day. Now, they're saying the matter has been reported to the police and the Commission, together with family members working closely with the police to establish his whereabouts. That's a statement of a press release from the IEBC over a staff member who was gone missing since Friday, and they're saying that that staff member was an ICT staff, and he was working with the Commission. So we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be right back with much more, including those two main campaigns that are going on today. One by Jubilee, and you've already seen President Uhuru Kenyatta has already landed in Tala, and the other, of course, by NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga in Nakuru. We'll be right back. Don't go there.
This is KTN News.